Hello guys, today I want to talk about Tiananmen Square Massacre. I don't want to go detail about the history, but I want to talk about why it's important to me. How does knowing this event helps me or fosters me a sense of critical thinking and skills. So I think this is important to share with you guys. So Tiananmen Square Massacre happened in 1989, June 4th. I think many of you have learned that from textbook, but not in China. So most Chinese people still do not know anything about Tiananmen Square Massacre. They don't know that kind of thing ever existed actually. How did I know these kind of things? It was very interesting because I first knew that number A964 was back to primary school. I used Baidu Tieba, which is something like Reddit in the United States. People can discuss, um, you know, anything basically under certain topics. And I always see one comment or post. It starts like this. Try this if you can type those four numbers A964. So at that time, I did not know anything about this number. I just thought, oh, it's a number. How can I not type a number? But I tried, I failed. If you really want to type those four numbers or to inform others, you gotta use a very complicated way. Let's say you have a very long punctuation, among those four numbers. Let's say 8, you have a dash, long dash, or comma, a period, then another number 9, or use a different numeral system. Let's say this one is English, this one is Chinese, this one's Arabic. So it gotta be complicated. If you type those things directly, your post will definitely not be shown public. Even though you try so hard, you succeed, but soon later, when the censorship find out you are referring to this event, your post will still get deleted. Well, that's the experience I had. Well, until like a high school, that was the first time I actually, discover what really happened. That was a time I started to use VPN. The reason I want to use VPN is really a coincidence. I need to use VPN to find out some answer for my homework. So I download VPN, and the first thing I did is log into YouTube, because we all know Twitter exists. We all know YouTube exists, but we just cannot log in. So I was so excited, and I typed lots of things in YouTube. It didn't take a very long time. They find out I'm a Chinese speaker, so they post me that things, exactly that number I was looking for, A964. And with the image, the cover, the classic, the tank man stand in front of the tank. I clicked that video, due to curiosity. I watched the video. How did I say that feeling? It was a mind-blowing experience, because I never knew we had such a huge protest. Honestly, I haven't witnessed any protest ever since I grew up in China. Never seen such a protest, and never seen such bloody scenery like that could actually happen in Tiananmen Square. I was in Tiananmen Square, as a tourist, but I never imagined something could happen like this in Tiananmen Square. I think at that time I knew it was sensitive. I definitely knew I'm not allowed. I'm not gonna share those video with my classmate, even though I still did with someone I really trust. But I knew it was sensitive, and I really want to find out the reason why government try to hide this. And a few years later, I studied abroad in a different country, which is very important because it offers me a sense of security. When I was in China, while I using VPN, I use VPN. It was kind of illegal actually, based on the law. And even though I was using VPN, which supposed to offer me security, but I still feel unsafe. I just, thought the government could find a way to find out me. Well, this could be true because nothing is anonymous online. All right, don't underestimate those detective tools, especially those government officials. So I didn't post anything aggressive online, and I didn't have the courage to do that. But when I was in a different country, which just gives me more opportunities or more courage to search on those information. You know what? It really helps me foster those kind of critical thinking skill, independent thinking skill, which is important for college students. And I believe this is something many people lack of, even you are born in a free world. And why it's important? It really helps me to understand or analyze or predict the future in China. And when something happens, I can predict, like vaccine. During COVID time, I knew those kind of vaccine not gonna help me. When I was in China, and I knew those lockdown policy was stupid. I knew they're gonna be end one day. But if you watch news in China, it feel like China was the only country doing things correctly. Even though based on those very strict lockdown policy, many people lost their job, many people even decide to they commit suicide because they could not, go to work, they have no income. Many people still believe that was the correct policy. I knew this at the beginning. It was a disaster. It was a bad choice. It really, lots of my prediction got verified. And it helps me to understand the modern politics. It helps me understand the modern Chinese history. And you know what? I just think this is important because if I, it was definitely a waking experience to me. But I hope this could happen to more people in China. We have a billion population, and most people, they do not know this part of history. But what if they knew? What if they knew those behavior, those action government have taken? Would they act differently? Would China be different than today? So I think it benefit to the entire human civilization if more people in China are allowed to watch those videos, are allowed to see some history, and they can make their own decision. Alright, so thanks for watching. If you like me, please subscribe me, and see you next time. Bye.